1. Resilient people are loners. One untrue myth about resilience is that resilient people are loners or that they build resilience on their own. This myth could not be further from the truth. In fact, resilience is highly connected and developed through high-quality relationships. People who have strong relationships tend to be more resilient because positive relationships result in greater cognitive functioning, creativity, engagement, and positivity. In fact, having a strong support system is one of the biggest determiners of a person's resilience. 2. Resilient people ignore stress. Many people assume that being resilient means that stress or difficult situations do not bother you. This is not true. Resilience is not about ignoring stress and difficult situations. In fact, ignoring stress is a sign of poor resilience. 3 reasons therapy may help boost your resilience. Therapy is the process of meeting with a licensed therapist in order to resolve any behaviors, beliefs, feelings, or relationship issues that you may be having at the time. Deciding to begin therapy can be a big step towards becoming the healthiest version of yourself, regardless of where you are in life. One way that therapy can be helpful for you is that it can help you boost your resilience. From helping you pinpoint past behaviors to strategizing effective resilience plans, a therapist can help you learn how to become more resilient. Here are the top 3 reasons therapy can help boost your resilience. 1. Recognize past behaviors. Many people find it difficult to recognize past behaviors and habits. The reason for this is that it is more difficult to be self-reflective than it is to reflect on someone else's life. Therapy, though, can help you to recognize past behaviors by talking to an objective and educated third party. When you talk to a therapist or counselor, he or she will ask you about your life, past decisions, and your feelings regarding them. As you tell them your answers, they, and perhaps yourself, will start noticing trends from your past. This will allow you to recognize past behaviors that sabotaged or decreased your resilience. It is crucial to recognize your past behaviors in order to become more resilient. If you are unaware of your bad habits, you have no way of fixing them. So talking to a therapist can be a great way to recognize your past behaviors so that way you can fix them, learn from your mistakes, and become more resilient in the future. 2. Learn techniques for becoming resilient. Even if you know your past habits, it can be difficult to know how to change them. The reason for this is that if you've always done something one way, you may be completely in the dark how to do it a different way. Therapists and counselors, on the other hand, are trained in techniques for becoming healthier and more resilient. For this reason, it would be wise to consult a licensed professional for techniques for becoming resilient. More so, these professionals will be able to provide specific techniques that are tailored to your past mistakes and habits. 3. Hold you accountable. Finally, a third way that therapy may help you become more resistant is that it holds you accountable for trying to change your habits. Every time that you go to your counseling session, the counselor will probably ask you how you have done since the last visit. This will hold you accountable for trying to actively change your habits and learning new techniques for becoming more resilient. If you don't have someone asking you how you're doing, it is much more likely that you give up and stop trying. It is human nature to be lazy when no one is holding you accountable. Luckily, therapy will ensure that you're held accountable for changing your actions. Recap. There are a lot of misconceptions about therapy that are harmful and untrue. It's important to look past these misconceptions so that way you can get the full benefits of therapy. One of the best benefits of therapy is that it can help you to become more resilient. More specifically, it will help you to pinpoint your past habits, learn new strategies, and hold you accountable. 3 signs that you are resilient. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from tough or stressful situations. Unfortunately, it is a popular misconception that resilient people don't feel stressed or upset during hard times. This misconception causes many people to believe that they are not resilient, even if they are. Luckily, some key signs point to you being resilient. With these signs, you will be able to determine your current level of resilience and start implementing new techniques to become even more resilient. Let's check out these 3 signs that show whether or not you are resilient. 1. You are self-aware and self-accountable. A key aspect of resilience is knowing your strengths, weaknesses, and limits. This requires you to be keenly self-aware. Self-awareness allows you to know and understand yourself and push yourself to become the best and most resilient version possible. More so, self-awareness must be backed up with self-accountability. Self-accountability is when you hold yourself accountable for accomplishing your goals, dreams, and work. If you are self-aware but not self-accountable, your self-awareness is useless because there is no way to use your awareness to become better. If you are self-aware and self-accountable, you already have one sign of resilience. If you struggle with self-awareness, though, that's okay. Start practicing mindfulness and set goals for yourself. 2. You accept your limits. Another sign that you are resilient is that you accept your limits. Resilient people know what their limits are and push themselves to be the best version of themselves, but they do not feel overwhelmed or discouraged by their limits. In other words, limits do not get resilient people down. Instead, resilient people view their limits as an opportunity to grow and form connections with other people. Whenever resilient people have hit their limits, they ask other people for help. Not only does asking people for help allow the task to be accomplished, but it also allows for connections to be strengthened. If you find that you accept your limits, then you are probably resilient. Many people find accepting limits difficult, though. If you are one of those people, try creating and reciting mantras about accepting limits. Additionally, start asking for help when you need it. Finally, the 3rd sign of resilience is that you have a strong support system. It is a popular misconception that resilient people are loners and can handle things on their own. This is completely false. In fact, resilient people often have very strong support systems. Support systems can include family members, friends, and community as a whole. The purpose of a support system is to have a place to go or people to talk to whenever you feel upset, defeated, or alone. Having a good support system is crucial to handling difficult situations that may come your way. You probably are resilient if you already have a strong support system made up of a variety of people. If you do not think you have a strong support system, there are ways that you can strengthen your connections. Try doing fun activities with your loved ones and friends and asking them for help when you need it. Final thoughts. It is important to know whether or not you are resilient. The reason for this is that it will help you to know what you need to work on in order to become the best version of yourself. Using these 3 signs, you can determine if you are already resilient or if you need to do a little more work. 3 ways to boost your child's resilience. As a parent, it is your job to help your kids become healthy, happy, and well-adjusted. One of the best ways to help your child is to boost their resilience. Helping your child boost their resilience will allow them to be curious, trust their instincts, and step outside of their comfort zones. As a parent, though, it can be difficult to boost your child's resilience. To help you out, here are 3 effective strategies for boosting your child's resilience. 1. Focus on your emotional connection. One of the most important determiners of a person's resilience is their connection with the world around them. In other words, resilient people tend to have very strong relationships with their family, friends, and community. The reason for this is that these connections act as a support system when things go wrong. One of the best ways to boost your child's resilience is to build a strong emotional connection with them. This will give your child the opportunity to build coping strategies within the context of a caring and safe relationship. You can build a strong emotional connection with your child by spending one-on-one time with them, whether it be through doing homework, playing at the park, or watching TV. One-on-one time with your child is crucial for building a strong emotional connection and boosting your child's resilience. 2. Promote healthy risk-taking. Another way to boost your child's resilience is to promote healthy risk-taking. Today, the world is filled with a mindset that children need to be kept in a completely safe environment. While it is important that your child is safe from physical and emotional harm, there is such a thing as healthy risk. Healthy risk will allow your child to step outside their comfort zone without feeling unsafe or in harm's way. Examples of healthy risk-taking include pushing your child to try a new sport, participating in a play, or talking about their feelings when they are upset. By promoting healthy risk-taking, your child can learn effective strategies for handling and coping with stressful challenges. At the same time, these risks are not dangerous for the physical or emotional well-being of your child, so they will have little to no harm even if they are unsuccessful. 3. Let your child problem solve. A third way to boost resilience in your child is to let them problem solve on occasion. Often, children come to their parents to solve every single problem, even if they can solve it themselves. Most parents feel naturally inclined to explain or lecture the child on the problem at hand. A better strategy is to ask the child questions so that they can come to conclusions on their own. This allows the child to have conversations with their parents and bounce ideas off them. As a result, they will learn how to problem solve effectively and healthily, as well as problem solve with another person. Final thoughts. Childhood is the time for children to learn how to communicate, interact, and cope with the world around them. As a parent, it is your job to help them become resilient and functional in the world. 3 easy ways to help boost your child's resilience includes building an emotional connection with them, promoting healthy risk-taking, and letting them problem solve. Obviously, all 3 of these techniques will take time and patience on your part, since children take a while to develop these skills. Nonetheless, your child will be thankful for you when they're older and able to cope with the world around them. 4 myths about resilience to stop believing today. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from tough situations. If you are not resilient, you are unlikely to be happy, successful, or capable of learning from your past. For this reason, it is imperative to know the truth about resilience so that you can harness its benefits. Unfortunately, many people believe untrue myths about resilience, which causes them to either pursue resilience ineffectively or forego it altogether. Not only are these myths dangerous to individuals, but they are also dangerous to families, friends, and work. For this reason, it is important to debunk untrue myths about resilience. In this article, we look at the 4 most common myths about resilience that you have to stop believing. Let's get started. 1. Resilient people are loners. One untrue myth about resilience is that resilient people are loners or that they build resilience on their own. This myth could not be further from the truth. In fact, resilience is highly connected and developed through high-quality relationships. People who have strong relationships tend to be more resilient because positive relationships result in greater cognitive functioning, creativity, engagement, and positivity. In fact, having a strong support system is one of the biggest determiners of a person's resilience. 2. Resilient people ignore stress. Many people assume that being resilient means that stress or difficult situations do not bother you. This is not true. Resilience is not about ignoring stress and difficult situations. In fact, ignoring stress is a sign of poor resilience. Instead, resilience is about knowing how to manage stress and adapt to difficult changes. This means being able to feel the stress and negative emotions, but then knowing how to healthily deal with them so that you can grow as a person. 3. You're either resilient or you're not. Another myth about resilience that many people believe is that you're either resilient or you're not. In other words, there is no way to become resilient if you are not naturally so. Luckily, this myth is completely untrue. In fact, studies from the 1970s to the present have shown that you can build resilience over time. Although it may be easier for some people than others to build resilience, everyone is capable of becoming resilient. Through a lot of hard work and effort, resilience is possible for everyone. 4. You can only build resilience in one way. Finally, the last myth about resilience that we are going to look at is that you can only build it in one way. In other words, you can only increase your resilience by trying one technique. This myth is untrue because resilience is very complex, which means it can be built in many ways. Here are the most common ways to grow your resilience. Develop flexible and accurate thinking. Grow self-confidence. Grow self-efficacy. Healthily manage your emotions. Have a strong support system. As you can see, there are many ways that you can improve your resilience. Final thoughts. Therefore, resilient people have healthy relationships and don't ignore or power through stress. More so, we have seen that you can build resilience and that there are a number of ways to do so. It is important to view resilience in this way so that you can make yourself into a more resilient person. If you believe these myths that we have shown to be untrue, you will continue to live in a cycle that allows difficult situations to get the best of you. 4 reasons why resilience matters in the workplace. Life is full of stressful situations, and the workplace is one of the leading causes of stress. Unfortunately, stressful work environments are often unavoidable, meaning that you have to learn how to be resilient to succeed in your career. In fact, becoming resilient will help you be a better employee. From learning how to adapt to changing procedures to conflict resolution, resilience is the key to becoming a happy, healthy, and effective employee. In this article, we learn about the importance of resilience by looking at the top 4 reasons why resilience matters in the workplace. Let's get started. 1. Increases motivation. One of the most important reasons why resilience matters in the workplace is that it increases motivation. The reason for this is that resilience makes you feel more confident in yourself and your abilities, which results in you feeling more motivated to finish and complete your work. As you become more motivated, you're more likely to take on more projects, do a better job, and look like a more effective and excited employee. As a result, you might see benefits such as a raise or strengthened workplace connections. 2. Decreases burnout. Another reason why resilience matters in the workplace is that it decreases burnout. Burnout is when you lose passion for the work you're doing. This causes people to experience presenteeism, which is when you aren't fully switched on at work. Resilience, however, helps people hold on to the excitement that they feel when they go to work. It helps them to see their work and projects as challenges that can be tackled, as opposed to roadblocks that they can't overcome. Whenever burnout is decreased, it benefits both the employees and the organization. It obviously benefits the employees by making their work life more enjoyable. It also benefits the organization because the employees are less likely to quit and more likely to perform better. 3. Helps you adapt to change. The third reason that resilience matters in the workplace is that it helps employees to manage and adapt to change easier. In the workplace, change happens all the time. Whether it be a changing procedure or an unruly client, change is inevitable in the workplace. Resilience allows you to manage the change and adapt to it in a healthy and quick way. In other words, it allows you to effectively work amidst change. Employees that are better able to adapt to change are better employees in general. The reason for this is that they have a quick learning curve and can quickly take on the challenges of the new changes. As a result, employees that adapt to change are more likely to receive bonuses and respect. 4. Establishes a healthy work-to-life ratio. Finally, the last reason that resilience matters in the workplace is that it helps you to establish a healthy work-to-life ratio. People who are not resilient get drawn down by work, and they feel that it is impossible to escape these feelings even at home. This causes them to have a bad work-to-life ratio since they can't escape their work on their off time. Those who are resilient, however, are able to turn off their thoughts about work when they get home. In other words, it allows them to leave the stress and worries of work at the office. Recap. As we have seen, resilience is highly important to the workplace. It increases motivation, decreases burnout, helps you adapt to change, and establishes a healthy work-to-life ratio. Becoming resilient with the 7 C's of resilience. Pediatrician Ken Ginsberg, MD, specializes in adolescent medicine at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. To help kids and teens boost their resilience, he created the 7 C's model that has now become a successful way of looking at resilience. These 7 C's are attributes of healthy resilience. But what are the 7 C's? In this article, we answer just that. Let's get started. 1. Competence. Competence is the ability to know how to handle stressful or difficult situations effectively. To become more competent, you must develop skills to trust your judgments and make wise choices. Without competence, you may never know how to respond to difficult or stressful situations. 2. Confidence. Confidence is one's ability to know that they can make healthy and responsible decisions. In many ways, confidence is deeply rooted in competence. You will gain confidence by being competent in real-life scenarios, but it is important to have positive self-talk even when you are not competent. Having positive self-talk ensures that you stay optimistic and positive. 3. Connection. One of the most important factors for resilience is connection. Connection is when you have close ties to family, friends, and community. This connection provides a sense of security and belonging that makes you feel safer in the world. Without connection, you may feel completely disconnected and inadequate, making it difficult to become resilient. 4. Character. In order to be resilient, you need to know right from wrong. The reason for this is that you will not be able to make responsible choices if you don't know right from wrong or don't have character. If you do not know right from wrong, you will not be able to make decisions that are both healthy for yourself and contribute to society. So you need to have a good character in order to be resilient. 5. Contribution. Feeling as though you have a sense of purpose in the world is a powerful motivator for becoming resilient. So you should aim to feel like you are contributing to your community. Doing so will allow you to have a sense of purpose and reinforce positive relationships. Together, these factors allow you to be more resilient and comfortable in the world. 6. Coping. Coping is when you learn how to deal with stress or difficult scenarios in a healthy manner. Being prepared with coping mechanisms will allow you to handle adversity healthily and effectively. If you do not know healthy coping mechanisms, you will never become healthy and resilient. For this reason, coping is a key factor for resilience. 7. Control. Control is about developing and understanding your internal control so that you can problem solve your way out of difficult situations. This allows you to feel in control of your outcomes as opposed to a victim of your circumstances. As a result, you will feel more capable and confident since you have control over the outcomes in your life. Final thoughts. The 7 C's are crucial features for healthy resilience. Once again, the 7 C's are competence, confidence, connection, character, contribution, coping, and control. If you lack one or more of these attributes, you are likely to not be as resilient as you could. One final note about the 7 C's is that action is more important than talk. You may read about the 7 C's or even talk to someone about them, but your knowledge will be completely useless if you do not actively implement them in your life. For this reason, it is imperative that you take action steps to become more resilient. Top 5 attributes of resilient people. One of the best ways to become more resilient is to observe and learn from those who are already more resilient than you. Doing so will allow you to learn from their mistakes and mimic their success, allowing yourself to become successful as well. In this article, we look at the top 5 attributes of resilient people and offer suggestions on how to mirror these attributes in yourself. Let's get started. 1. Confident in their abilities. Resilient people are confident in their abilities. In other words, they know that they can and will handle tough or stressful situations, even if it takes a lot of time and hard work. With that being said, resilient people are confident because they have proven track records of competence. They are not overly confident. You can become more confident by acknowledging when you complete a challenging task or improve a skill. Additionally, you can become more confident by doing things you're good at, taking quality you time, or talking to a healthcare professional. 2. Have healthy coping mechanisms. Having healthy coping mechanisms is a key attribute of resilient people. In other words, resilient people know how to handle stress or overwhelming situations in a way that is both healthy and rewarding. More so, they avoid unhealthy coping mechanisms such as binge drinking or eating. You can gain healthy coping mechanisms by adjusting how you respond to difficult situations. For example, instead of dealing with stress by eating junk food, try going to the gym to work off your energy, or talk to a loved one when you're upset instead of bottling up your emotions. 3. Connected with their loved ones and friends. Another attribute of resilient people is that they are connected with their loved ones and friends. Although it is a misconception that resilient people are loners, the most resilient people are surrounded by a support system that loves them and helps them up when they've been knocked down. You can strengthen your connections by spending more time with your family, friends, and community. Additionally, ask them for help when you need it, and offer them help when they need it. 4. Are realistic. Resilient people are also highly realistic about their abilities, controls, and limitations. In other words, they know what they are capable of and what they can control, but they also accept their limitations and work around them. This realistic perspective allows resilient people to know when they need help and when they need to step back from a situation. You can become more realistic by monitoring your self-talk. Do you talk harshly to yourself? If so, try to recognize when you deserve praise so that you are realistic about your abilities. In contrast, do you never criticize yourself even when you need it? Try looking at your limitations and accept them for what they are. 5. Are emphatic. Finally, the last attribute of resilient people is that they are emphatic. Empathy is the ability to read the emotions of others and put themselves in the other person's shoes. Empathy is important to resilient people because it allows them to connect with others and respond to their community with compassion and respect. If you struggle with empathy, try putting yourself in someone else's shoes. You can do this by volunteering for different organizations or donating to different charities. Final thoughts. Resilient people are often confident, connected with their loved ones, realistic, emphatic, and have healthy coping mechanisms. To become more resilient, try to reflect these characteristics in your own life. Top 5 benefits of resilience. As of late, resilience has become a high talking point among doctors, coaches, and everyday people alike. In short, resilience is the ability to bounce back from a tough situation. It involves learning from your past in order to be stronger than you were before. Obviously, being able to come back from tough situations is great. But what are the actual benefits of resilience? Why exactly should you want to be resilient? In this article, we answer those questions by looking at the 5 top benefits of resilience. Let's get started. 1. Helps you have a sense of community. Many people believe that being resilient means that you're a loner and don't need anyone else. This could not be further from the truth. The reason for this is that resilience is often built through strong emotional connections. Strong emotional connections allow people to feel connected and supported in the world, which allows them to be more resilient. In fact, resilience almost always requires community, even if it is only a community of 2. As a result, boosting resilience allows you to feel a better sense of community. As human beings, having a strong community allows us to feel happier, healthier, and more connected with the world around us. 2. Helps you be a better problem solver. Resilience makes you a better problem solver. The reason for this is that resilience requires you to look at situations from more than one angle, challenge yourself, and learn from mistakes of the past. As a result, you become a better problem solver as you get older. Being a better problem solver will allow you to overcome more obstacles, be a better employer, and more. 3. Helps you overcome harsh obstacles. Another benefit of resilience is that it helps you to overcome harsh obstacles. The whole point of resilience is to overcome stressful or difficult situations. So being resilient will allow you to overcome harsh obstacles that you might have thought to be too difficult for you before. The reason why resilience helps you overcome harsh obstacles is that it creates positive self-talk, boosts confidence, and makes you into a better problem solver. These factors work together to help you overcome harsh obstacles and generally succeed in life. 4. Helps you grow as a person. Additionally, being resilient helps you grow as a person. For many people, resilience is about learning from past situations so that they become a healthier and better functioning human. Therefore, resilience helps you to create more effective coping strategies, which allows you to grow as a person. 5. Helps you love yourself. Finally, the last benefit of resilience that we will look at today is that it helps you love yourself. Resilience is primarily about being competent and confident in your abilities to problem solve. Even if you make mistakes, resilience helps you to learn from those mistakes and view yourself as a capable human being nonetheless. As a result, resilience helps you love yourself better than before. Final thoughts. Resilience has a number of great benefits. In this article, we specifically looked at how resilience helps you to have a sense of community, become a better problem solver, overcome harsh obstacles, grow as a person, and love yourself. Of course, these are not the only benefits of resilience. In fact, resilience is one of the best ways to be healthy and happy overall. For these reasons, it is crucial to boost your resilience, even if you are already a relatively resilient person. Top 5 ways to boost resilience to overcome adversity in life. Many people believe that you are either born resilient or not. Luckily, this belief is completely untrue. Numerous studies have shown that there are highly effective ways to boost resilience over time. More so, There are certain techniques for boosting your resilience that are effective for most people. These techniques will allow you to become more resilient so that you can overcome adversity in life. In this article, we look at the top 5 ways to boost resilience for overcoming adversity. Let's get started. 1. Welcome change. Change is simply an unavoidable part of life. From loved ones growing older to a changing procedure at work, change is all around us and it is impossible to avoid. For this reason, welcoming change is one of the best ways to boost resilience to overcome adversity in life. If you do not embrace or welcome change, it will be difficult to overcome many obstacles that life throws at you. So it is imperative to start thinking of change as an opportunity to grow, better yourself, and learn about the world. 2. Practice positive thinking. Another way to boost resilience is to practice positive thinking. It can be really easy to dwell on negative thinking and feel bogged down by the fears, anxieties, and insecurities we feel about ourselves and others. Unfortunately, negative thinking makes us less prone to resilience. To break the cycle of negative thinking, try thinking positive thoughts whenever you can. If you catch yourself thinking something negative, try to rewire your brain so that it sees the positive of the situation as well. Doing so will make you more likely to think positively and see situations in a more accurate and truthful light. 3. Develop strong personal connections. One of the main determiners of a person's resilience is the strength of their personal connections. Whether the personal connections are with family members or friends, the connections will largely determine how resilient you are to tough or stressful situations. For this reason, try developing strong personal connections in order to boost resilience. Spend more time with family and friends, and try to meet new people. With that being said, it is important to focus on the quality of the relationships. In other words, make sure that the people you are connected to truly care about you and want to help you succeed. 4. Try problem solving. Whenever you're in a tough situation, you may see the problem as a roadblock that is impossible to move. As a result, you want to give up and avoid the problem altogether. This mindset is completely normal, but it is also dangerous and destroys resilience. To boost your resilience, take an active step to become a better problem solver. You can become a better problem solver by looking at the problem in more ways than one, seeing the problem as a challenge that can be tackled, and talking to other people about the problem. 5. Talking to a health professional. Finally, the last way to boost your resilience is to talk to a health professional. These professionals are trained to help you develop, plan, and execute resilience-boosting strategies in your life. Talking to a health professional will make it more likely that you create healthy and effective strategies for boosting your resilience. Recap. To overcome adversity in your life, it is important to boost resilience. Welcoming change, practicing positive thinking, developing strong personal connections, problem solving, and talking to a health professional are 5 great ways to boost your resilience. What is resilience? Whenever you're faced with a difficult situation in life, what do? How do you adapt? Why do some people seem to recover from adversity easier than others? The answer to these questions is resilience. Everyone has resilience, but the amount of resilience a person has differs. That is why everyone faces, handles, and adapts to tragic events differently. Whether you're faced with a death in the family or a stressful day at work, you will handle the situation differently than someone else in a similar situation. But what exactly is resilience? How does it affect your life? Better yet, can you increase your resilience? In this article, we will answer those very questions. Let's get started. Resilience. What is it? According to Psychology Today, Resilience is an ineffable ability to come back stronger after you have been knocked down. Instead of becoming overcome by a difficult or disheartening situation, resilience allows you to bounce back stronger than before. Bouncing back. In short, bouncing back is when you adapt to adversity, trauma, tragedy, or stress, as opposed to allowing the bad situations to get the better of you. Whether we face defeat, disappointment, or failure, we are given two options: giving up and allowing the situation to get the best of us, or continuing to live our lives. Most people choose the latter of the two and bounce back, but the bouncing back time period differs from person to person. How does resilience affect your life? Resilience greatly affects your life because it determines how well you adapt to situations, learn from the past, and grow in the future. If you have good resilience, you are not only more able to live your life, but you're more able to live a high-quality life. In contrast, people who do not have good resilience tend to feel dragged down by the world and their situations. Instead of learning from their mistakes overtake their lives, causing them to feel defeated and inadequate. Can you increase your resilience? Luckily, there are ways to increase your resilience. Many of the resilience-building strategies involve having a strong support system and being kind to yourself. Here are the most important ways to increase your resilience. Building a strong support system made of family members and friends. Having a positive self-image. Being confident in yourself and your abilities. Managing your feelings and impulses healthily and effectively. Having good communication skills. Having good problem-solving skills. All of these techniques take time and energy to master. It will take more than a week to improve your resilience, but the work will be worth it in the end. When trying to master these techniques, look online for articles addressing each specific area. For example, if you have a good support system but poor self-image, research ways to improve your self-image specifically. Reach out to a professional. Additionally, consider reaching out to health professionals. These professionals will help you to develop goals and a plan for boosting your resilience. More so, they will assist you in the process, ensuring that you don't give up. Final thoughts. Resilience is one's ability to bounce back from tough situations. Without resilience, one can quickly feel overcome by life and fail to thrive or adapt properly. Luckily, there are ways to boost your resilience, so that way you can adapt to tough situations and take back your life. When boosting your resilience, remember that change doesn't happen overnight. Instead, increasing your resilience will take a lot of time, energy, patience, and mistakes. It is important to remind yourself that resilience is a journey, not a destination.